Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mistwalker Spectrum of Eternity. I am your humble DM, Lily, and we will be playing the 17th session here this lovely evening. As I already lost the plot, that's a great start. Either way, we're going to go ahead and introduce all of our players here, so please go ahead, Julia.
Yeah, we're doing so great already. But everyone, my name is Yulia. I am an elven princess knight VTuber who specializes in all things fantasy and medieval. You can find me on RoyalKnightVT on various socials. And for tonight, I play Kloven, our local cleric. So very, very happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Next up, Meris, please go ahead.
Hello, I'm MerisAurum. I am a Celestial Dragon VTuber. I specialize in storytelling streams, book reading, talks about literature, all kinds of good, smart stuff. I also run my own D&D campaign on the side called The Trial of Hearts. It's an ode to all things romantic fantasy, so definitely check it out if you enjoy a drama and mystery and a heavy dosage of homies smooching homies. But while I'm here, I play the one, the only, the titular, the Sewer King, the party's fighter of questionable subclass.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Sif.
Hi, I'm Sif_VTuber, real ass living suit of armor. I do art, I play games, and I'm back again as homegrown potato himself, Tate Planner. I like fighting for my friends. I'm very happy to be back. Thank you guys.
Perfect. And then finally, Aster, please introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Aster Vargatolis, probably better known as ArchmagesTower on Twitch and Blue Sky. I am a variety streamer, a aspiring voice actor, and soon-to-be fantasy author, fingers crossed, and I generally like to dabble in indie games and just hanging out with my homies as well. And on this channel, I play our artificer, Thaddeus, who I am very excited for some things and stuff tonight for.
Perfect. Thank you all. Then as for myself, I guess just to more properly introduce myself, I am an artist that draws a lot of D&D stuff, as well as runs this lovely campaign and plays in very many campaigns. We love Dungeons and Dragons here.
We love Dungeons and Dragons.
But yes, so we'll go ahead and hop right into the session recap, so that way we can get back on into it. So last session, Tate and Adamar talked to a nervous Quinn about being a leader and gave him some advice and some sense of solace and confidence in his newfound position as the head of security and the head of the guard in the stocks. Dashek. There we go. Let's try again. SK went to visit the recovering Gale and talked to him about his condition, testing the moon water on his arm, and telling him that Lark has been hiding much of herself from him. Thaddeus, Kloven, and Anti, worked through the night on some new tech, as well as incorporating moon water into each of their weapons. The following day, Quinn received a report that the Namiota was currently not moving not far from where their last scrap with the beast had been. The party and guardsmen quickly gathered to prepare for what could be the final confrontation. One speech from Quinn later, they were on their way to the Moonwell. Upon arriving, Lark addressed the group before submerging herself into the waters of the Moonwell, revealing a more leporine form, clad in tattoos with claws and fangs to boot. She assured the group that this was still her, and rather than being another form, was closer to her true being. As the party approached the Namiota, they mostly kept the element of surprise as they were able to get the drop on the monster. The party focused their efforts on severing the eye from the beast. After the confrontation started, the eye glowed with radiant energy and pulsed, charming the party and sending them into a vision of another point in time. Kloven saw a quiet scene where Mai played the guitar for him. Tate saw his wedding night to Mai as well. SK saw a few people he did not recognize, including a small girl seemingly also named Lark. And Thaddeus saw many different visions. One of multiple people confessing and proposing to him, one comfortable one back home with Jillian, one where he had freshly lost his arm and was actively bleeding out, and one where him and Kloven were on a date. Thaddeus struggled to leave some of the happy visions, choosing instead to fail the save at one point. Shaking themselves free of this influence, they refocused themselves onto the monster, and after many rounds of bloody combat, returning to and from visions and fearful worries, they were able to sever the eye from the rest of the body of the Namiota, though not before SK took a small bite out of it. Anti grabbed the eye and quickly tucked it away inside of their body, and the Namiota flailed about as it slowly came to a stop, moving no more. And so we will resume here with just as we kind of get back into it. As the Namiota ceased moving, the vines that sort of makes up the bulk of the body just slowly begin to fall off and like very, very unceremoniously just start to just fall to the ground. As it begins to disintegrate, you can see in the distance a form seems to be left in its place. That which you all would very quickly recognize as that of Venus. Upon seeing this, Quinn will immediately raise a weapon and ask, "What is that? Is that something else we need to kill?" He'll go to walk up with the spear in hand.
Tate will put his hand like in front of Quinn's shoulder to like sort of slow him down, and just let's see.
You can see Lark moves up as well to get a closer look at it, and quickly looks back to Anti. And says, "It looks like your friend. Are they in league with each other?"
So, maybe. We know Venus has been... Their name is Venus, and we know they've been lost for a while as Namiota. I just... Let Anta try to help him.
She'll take a deep sigh before kind of shrugging and just looks to the rest of you and says, "If it makes any wrong moves, I request permission to end its life."
Well, maybe you need to take a little bit of a step back then. We'll try to avoid that.
Caution can be good. She'll twirl her dual-sided staff and back away, and Anti will step forward and look to the rest of them. Just say, "Confirmation. This is my sibling, Venus. They once protected this land, but something corrupted them. I am going to take care of them now. You don't have to worry about them hurting anyone ever again. This is a promise." Quinn will just kind of nod and say, "Fair enough. You seem like you have got a good heart yourself." this point, Anti will be essentially right next to Venus's body and look back to the rest of you to come close. Confirming you do so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you can hear sound of machinery kind of coming through. Sounds like it's clinking and catching in itself, like a whirring, like a sound. And you kind of get a closer look at the body itself, seeing that this is less so like roots like Anti's body is, and more so vines with some flowers, as well as more distinct plant life with the fly trap that is framing Venus's head. Looking closer, you can also see that the eyes are flickering with a faint green energy. And as Anti sits there, you can see that Venus's head slowly starts to turn as the fly trap is slowly closing around the head area. It strains and twitches as it does so and begins to speak. Sibling, it is good to meet you. Anti responds, confirmation. We are happy to meet you as well. Eyes shift in Anti's being to orange as Liana speaks, saying, we are happy to meet you as well. Venus speaks up. There are more than one of us inside of you. Are we to become one? Liana speaks up. I do believe that is the safest option. You are extraordinarily damaged, Venus. Do not fear. Our sibling Anti will preserve you as they did me. I was fully out of commission when they found me. You shall be safe. That is good. It has been so dark for so long. I do not know what has happened to me. I just wanted to protect everyone. This world is so cruel to those dear to us. How are we to resist against such indignation and viciousness? And you see it twitch itself again and looks up to the rest of you. As the lights in the eyes start to turn on fully for a moment, it says, mortals. Are you all safe?
Yes, I think we're all in one piece, though you did move us through the ringer a couple times. We're happy to see that you're here well, Venus, though.
I apologize. I was not in control. Are the others safe? Did I protect them? Are they going to be alright without me? I think I heard Marion's name through the darkness. Is she alright?
She is, and she's very excited to see her old friend again.
You can't smile, but there's just like the whirring that seems to be kind of like slowly stuttering. You can hear it kind of like whir brightly for a moment. Sibling Anti, I am so tired. I only wish that I could have done more. And as they say this, the green in Venus's eyes fades until it turns to a dull gray. As the whirring ceases, and the area around you is silent. And I will look to them and just be silent for a moment before speaking up. We must do our duty. They turn to look to you. Observation. We do not know what memories are hidden within the depths of Venus's mind. We expect it to be deeply unpleasant and potentially hazardous. We may cease function temporarily.
Hazardous? If it's harmful, I can't imagine that's something you would wish to endure.
It is necessary to complete my programming. And I will reach their roots into the mass of Venus's body. And you, as they do so, you hear a clicking noise. And as the roots retract, you can see that they are holding a small chip. Those of you that were that watch them in Kenril know that this is sort of the process. They take the chip, store it inside themselves, and then devour the body. But as they do so, Anti looks at it closely before looking back to the party. Request. In the event things do not go smoothly, please bring both myself and Venus back to New Dashek with you, in case we are no longer conscious.
Would you rather not wait until we get to New Dashek to assimilate, perhaps, in that event?
They look down for a moment and say, Affirmation. We were not thinking straight. This is a superior idea.
SK kind of gloats a little bit in this moment with his superior idea as he is just like dripping in plant juice and like eyeball mucus.
Why don't we take the plant and push it somewhere else?
What should we... Quinn, what should we tell everyone when we return? How do you want to word this to them all?
Oh god, I suppose I do have to explain what happened. I mean, I suppose we can just tell them that we won, but it feels like it's not fully taking care of the picture. You'll hear Lark laugh in the background say, "Why don't you leave that to me? I imagine they'll be a bit confused about myself too, so 2 birds, 1 stone."
Can I insight check to see if Lark is at all nervous about this prospect?
Sure.
All right, because that delivery made me a little. That's a 9. But why the fuck am I Sapphire ship? That's a 9.
You're rolling a sapphire shoe.
Roll for insight.
It's a 9. It's a 9.
Okay, I just realized I don't have roll 20 open, so give me a second to do so.
It's all RP.
DM.
All RP, baby.
DM with their clicky clacky.
No
rocks.
dice rolls today, boys.
There'll be some dice rolls. I'm just bad. Anyways, yeah, with a 9, it's hard to really tell too much about what they mean by that. There's definitely a bit of like hesitation of like, oh god, these backcountry bumpkins are probably gonna think I'm horrifying, but no less horrifying than the rest of this, than some of the other people in this group.
What do you mean?
We'll be right with you, Lark. All right.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be here to support you in however way we can.
We're all covered in plant juice. We all look weird.
Speak for
Right.
yourself.
Tate's gonna like take a bit more of that plant juice and rub it into Kloven's hair. At that.
Nothing could possibly diminish their beauty, Lark says, just with a giggle.
Speak for
Raised
yourself.
eyebrow emoji.
It's true. This new form suits you rather well, Lark.
Thank you very much. And she'll just kind of
As he,
start
like,
to...
shoving. He's like shoving Tate's face away.
that she'll walk off looking very pleased with herself. As Quinn will look over to Anti and just be like, so you need us to carry it? Was their name is Venus?
Yeah. Her name was Venus.
Okay. Right. And he'll go to try and pick up Venus.
Whoa,
And-
whoa.
Actually struggle to do so and be like,
Yeah, they're a big feller. How about I help you with that? And we have a big party of people. We could all pick up a bit of a bit of Venus.
Yeah.
I can't say I expected this thing to weigh like, well, quite this much. Anti will
Oh yes, they have a set of mass.
Anti will kind of just look to Quinn, just go, humorous. Confirmation. We weigh nearly 1,000 pounds.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Just gonna look up strength score to carry weight real quick.
There's plenty of strength users in this party to make this happen.
Yep.
But yes, so the few of you, the strength users, will go ahead and take Venus's. Basically, just like when they stop functioning, it's funny because they honestly look like Anti did when they were in the bathroom, or not the bathroom, the bathhouse, where they just kind of like just slump down in just this like almost liquidous or liquid form. So it's just like, it's kind of hard to get a hold of. You're basically just holding like 1,000 pounds of vines. But able to do so and kind of walk back and continuing to move through, the mist is still around you, so following the flags, but are able to make it back to Dashek without any real troubles. As you proceed to go down the hole to the tunnel system, you can see that the guards at the bottom of the spiral will kind of just see the see the party and just start talking amongst themselves, and Quinn will just kind of look over at them and just say, "We are victorious." And you can see the guards just both go, "And can we leave station? And Quinn will just kind of laugh and just be like, I suppose there's not much to guard against right now. You see them cheer amongst themselves and start to follow the procession. This process happens a few times as you make your way to the common area, at which point, as you kind of make your way into the common area, that where all the trade happens, where you first came in, everyone will turn to you all and just take a very good look at the scene, seeing, a bunch of you carrying Venus, as well as Ku looking as she does. And you see, whispering will begin, and Ku will look back at you and just kind of chuckle and step forward and just says, please, do not fear. You all know me as Lark. I understand things have changed a bit with myself, but I am still the same person that you knew. We come with good news. The Namiota is no more. With everyone's strength, we managed to land a fatal blow on the beast, and you're all safe now. And you hear that just kind of there's a bunch of chattering amongst the people there, and a voice will speak up through the crowd and say, You're not lying to us, are you? That can't be real. And at this point, actually, Adamar steps forward and just kind of speaks up and just says, we speak the truth. Tomorrow, you all shall be able to return to the surface. No mist to be found. I promise you all that you'll have the full strength of our home, the stocks, to help reclaim, rebuild, and thrive in your true home on the surface. You're all free now. The common area erupts with cheers as you see all the folks that were operating a business immediately go to close down their shops and go to return to their home to share the news with their loved ones, presumably. And as this is kind of going on, Adamar looks back to the rest of you all and just smiles and just says, I'm not half bad at these either.
Not after all the practice you've
You
had.
have
Humorous.
Words.
Right. Well, I think we've all earned at least some rest. Let's get Venus back to our space and settle down. Sound like a plan?
Yep.
Perfect.
Lark,
And
will you...
oh, go ahead.
Lark, will you return with us, or you're going back to your caretaker, your father, right?
That is the plan. Perhaps I could spare myself at least for some slight socializing in the near future, but you'll have to wait.
It's fine. Go see him. We'll let you know if anything comes up.
I appreciate you, simple man. And she'll
Thank you.
kind of
Complex
bow
woman.
before going off, turning around back to you, and she has this smirk on her face as she looks directly to Kloven. And Kloven, you hear something in your head.
Oh God.
Oh,
You're awfully skilled with your weapon. How might I convince such a divinely beautiful being to provide private instruction in how he handles his polearm?
His face kind of visibly lights up. And there's almost a hint of a blush. Is he able to respond to
Mhm.
it?
Yeah, you can respond in your mind.
He kind of smirks, making eye contact with her. I'll be available whenever you need me.
You'll hear another voice in your head just quickly go, "Same place as the other night?"
He'll just nod his head.
And she'll continue to bound off, the bigger smirk on her face.
Right, resting. That's the thing everyone needs to do.
All right. Then, as you all head back to your little common area, at this point, as everybody kind of files in, Anti will move over to, sit themselves down next to Venus and just look over to the rest of you and just say, "I believe it is time." And they will go ahead and take the chip and start to reach inside of their own form and just say, "We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause." As they do so, they reach inside their own form, and you hear another click sound. And as they do so, Antai's eyes immediately brighten until they turn white, when suddenly the white turns off and fades to black as Antai's form immediately loosens, becoming that of nothing more than a mass of roots in front of the rest of you. They are motionless and seemingly unresponsive.
Oh, okay. Do we need to move in? Do a medicine check?
Would you like?
Oh.
I was like, if you can tell me what you want to do in response to this moment.
Maybe I know there's not any particular vital signs, but like any signs of breathing, life.
Yeah, I would say it wouldn't take very much as you kind of move over, just like kind of like, holy shit, they just collapsed. Will, just as you move over, you can hear the faint sound of gears turning and engines whirring underneath the seemingly no response that there was. So whatever makes Anti run, it is still running. They are just not there.
When Anti absorbed Liana, their body loosened up a similar way?
That is
Or am I
correct.
misremembering?
That is correct. It did collapse for a few seconds, but nothing more. But as 30 seconds passes, they are still not moving.
I also want to. I'm gonna try something. If I assume it'll be fine too. I'm gonna use. Can I use my like nature aura to try to connect with Plantar? I said Plantai. Oh my fucking god.
I mean.
Yeah, can I do it with Plantai? Because like it's like if they're gonna break down every time like this, and it's probably gonna be a different like way per sibling absorbed. Like Venus is giving me an in here, right? I can. What's going on inside that head?
Oh god. Sure. Go ahead and make me a nature check.
That is a 7.
Oh,
It's not a good day.
That's not a
good day for
not a
my
great
rock.
roll. At least you're not rolling a sapphire ship.
Yeah, that's an improvement.
Okay. With the 7, you kind of like get in touch with the nature energy inside of you. And as you do so, you kind of reach out and touch the roots that make up the body, and you can just like feel roots should not be, or like are not, I shouldn't say should not be. Roots are not normally this warm, but you can feel as you like touch the roots, there is like, they're almost vibrating. It's a very strange sensation. You don't get too much more other than that, but you can just feel like something inside of this root seems to be working overdrive right now.
Well, if these tendrils are a part of Plantar, that could be in character stutter. Well, they're not like plants, but they're breathing like a living thing. So
Breathing is good.
yeah, they're beating like they're moving blood. Actually, yeah. It might just take longer and longer each time. I mean, Antar's basically putting a whole other person inside of themselves each time they do this, right? Makes sense it'll take longer and longer. Gotta find space for them.
I also have to imagine that assimilating with something as damaged as Venus would be complicated at best.
I'm guessing it's about as close to a repair job as it is from assimilation, honestly.
Now, if I may, you tech and nature folks are well beyond my knowledge, but have we had any clues on what hentai is made out of?
Beats me. All I know is it's heavy.
They're from a time before, well, any civilization we're acquainted with. So, something super advanced that we have no idea about, but they're our friend. If we ask them, they'll explain it to us. I don't think we'll understand, except maybe Thaddeus.
I'm just curious, given the fact that the trees and the guardians all seem to be from Din Town.
Yeah, we keep hearing about Din Town. I've got a question for you, Adamar.
By all means.
Do you know anything about that place? I've never thought to ask, but...
Unfortunately, nothing too much. The communication between Din Town and the stocks has always been, well, lacking, I suppose.
I wouldn't even call it communication. We're just scraping up their dump, right?
Right. At some point, it seems like they must have had some more of a true presence, given them installing this tree. But beyond that, I don't know a thing about them, other than they seemingly are a society that is well beyond ours.
Well, if they're big enough to use an entire town as a dumping ground, maybe they're working with better materials and tech than any one bajillion could properly comprehend.
I'm sure they are. You all weren't around for this, but I believe it was 40 or so years ago. The dumping ground, as we called it, sometimes held technology far beyond our imagination. And not just in parts, but in full. Whether or not it was a gift or not is unclear. But now it's just junk. We haven't seen a ship in a few years.
Wait, you've seen ships from them?
That is what drops it off, I assume.
Maybe. I don't know much about navigation and all, but if we can figure out all the ways the ships are coming, we can just go to Dintown, right? I mean, if they were behind everything, then we've been seeing so far, then wouldn't that be the quickest way for us to get our answers?
Quickest, yeah, but who knows how safe it is. Besides, I've never heard of anyone trying to cross the ocean apart from maybe Sapphire.
You know she
I feel
would love to.
there's-
Perhaps she's the one to talk to. Do we know if
Maybe.
she's attempted such a voyage before?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if she'd been planning one all this time.
She's got a pretty big boat, that's for sure.
Something to consider.
We should check with Anta too. I know they're not exactly openly emotional, but if they were uncomfortable about going over there, I think it's worth hearing out.
Now, if the ship could get some wings, could get to that island at the top too.
True.
That's a place I'd like to to check out for myself.
If you know any spells that can make a ship that size fly, I'd love to hear them.
Not quite, but I'll see what I can do. Talk to the big guy who motions up.
See if you can work a miracle.
Right. Oh, I feel like we have a lot to think about. More questions than we came here with, if anything.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Did you all by chance see anything during that last fight?
See, you mean visions of some kind?
Something of the sort. I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
Do you see something, Adamar?
I did.
Oh boy. Guessing by what you
ev-
said, Kloven, did everyone see something?
I certainly saw something, but did the rest of you all?
Some strange sort of visions, a lot of nonsensical nonsense, really.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh?
We can all agree at the very least we saw some pretty weird, unsettling things, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for
This
sure.
guy kind of looks at the lot of you like, what?
Kloven too, like raising his brow, like, mine were actually quite pleasant.
Must be nice.
Oh, now you've all got me very curious.
I don't think this is something I'm ready to put out in a Sharon circle. As he says that, he makes eye contact with Kloven and then looks away.
Ooh.
Kloven deadlocks that.
Roll insight. Does Tate want to fuck you too?
Damn, what does that pole arm do to a motherfucker?
we gotta talk this pole arm practice thing. What the fuck?
No, we're all friends here, and it's best we open ourselves to each other. Kind of winks a little. But if there was something concerning, or maybe it's something important we all need to discuss.
Would like some time to process what I saw, but if you guys still want to talk about it, by all means, and if you don't want me to be a part of that because of my privacy, I would understand.
Being a friend also means respecting your privacy, so I won't push that hard.
The more information a lot of us have together, the better. I'm not gonna push you to share what you saw, but you should at least hear what anybody who wants to talk about it can say. The more minds we can put on this, the closer we'll get to finding a solution, right?
Right, thank you so much for volunteering.
You set yourself up for that one. I can't.
Hey, help me out here.
You literally set yourself up for that one. I can't. I don't think anyone could help you out of this one. You can also take the route I did, although I
I
think...
don't know why everyone's making such a fuss. I mean, clearly we were all just shown random things, right?
I don't think it was random.
It was absolutely random. The things that I saw had absolutely no relevancy to me whatsoever.
Do you mind describing what you saw, and then we can use one of ours as a comparison?
That seems like a
Certainly.
good plan, yeah.
Certainly. I saw a vision of a child, a young girl, with her, I presume, father, and I was appearing in this vision. I assumed the form of a young child as well, and we were going off to see some sort of arena match.
Yeah, never mind. That sounds pretty, like, mellow compared to what I saw.
As I said, absolutely nonsensical.
Well, is it though? I mean, do you remember much of your childhood, Your Highness?
Well, for one thing, I never had a father, so it clearly cannot be my own childhood that I witnessed.
SK,
I think we're gonna have to come back to that one.
Uh-huh.
I just want to note that you can feel a little tightness in your head as this conversation is going. Nothing too much, but just a little tightness.
Yeah, a little headache.
Mhm. You know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Your Majesty, that's not particularly how children are, made.
He just kind of blinks. I'm well aware of the biological necessities of procreation, Kloven. All I'm saying is my father was never a part of my life. I have no idea who he was. So it couldn't have been this man that I saw.
That's
Therefore,
really
I
good.
can't be the child in the vision.
That's good that you understand that. I was really worried I was gonna have to try and recount my birds and the bees talk from memory.
Hardly necessary, but thank you.
Don't you laugh, Kloven. You were there too.
I have taken it to heart ever since.
Yeah, I bet you have. Thaddeus is blushing like a tomato.
Well, speaking of, I had a vision of my sister, but it was a rather peaceful one. It was just the two of us and doing what she always does, singing and being the bright star that she is. It was rather calming, actually.
Well, it must have helped you a lot in the fight.
When I didn't have my head in the clouds, feeling rather unconscious, but yes.
Yeah.
I can hop in here and say that I am more so on the side of Kloven. However, it was not my... This whole business is so strange, but I can tell you that it was not a memory that I've had, at least in this life.
Oh.
Pardon me.
What do you mean, this life?
Well, unless I'm forgetting something quite important, I don't think I've ever been a father in the last 60 years.
If you were, you'd be the king of deadbeats, and I don't think that describes you at all.
SK's brows just lift.
I had a very simple and quiet vision. One of me resting in a hammock, holding one child in each of my arms, as the sun shone down upon me. I don't feel like that's a memory I would have forgotten.
Most certainly not. But receiving visions from another life.
I mean, like an alternate self, because personally, from how we were talking, I just thought it was trying to show us images that could pacify us, you know? Things that maybe a part of us wanted.
I think it could be that. I just don't know. I don't think it's too out of the question to say that some part of me wishes life was quieter. Calmer.
Yeah. I think it was more than just it trying to pacify us. I wish I'd gotten off that easy. At first I did, weirdly enough. But then it took me back to the beach. I didn't just get memories from a different life, I got my own memories, ones I'd forgotten. I haven't had this arm for a long time. I saw the thing that took it from me. I saw Jillian again. It was a bit different than before, but not a memory I fully remember. But as you know, a lot of my childhood's kind of fuzzy. But I didn't just see things from this life, I saw happier times from at least 3 others. And I saw the void again. One time...
The void?
That's what I'm calling it, where the child threw me after I picked a fight with it. I've seen it 3 times now. And this vision of it came quicker than the last. I hate saying this, but even though we all saw something, or most of us saw something nice. Well, you remember what Mai told us before, right? It's not our first time around the wheel. I think we all saw things from previous cycles, give or take.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of you, but I failed to see how what I saw had any relevancy to myself. It was so vastly different from anything I could have ever experienced.
ASK. You know, in every vision I had when I was caught in that toxin or whatever Namioto was spitting out, I had my arm. If that's not a guarantee, if we're not guaranteed to be exactly what we are right now, who's to say you're that way in every timeline? Who's to say you've always looked that way? Who's to say you've never had a different name?
Yes, Kay.
Yes.
In your mind, you feel a caress around your chin and just say, as her voice speaks up and says, "You've always been perfect."
SK looks deeply unsettled by what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see how that could make some semblance of sense, but I just feel it. I don't know how to explain. There's no way that I've ever been anything but what I am.
You are you, Your Majesty. I'm sure these visions could just be a trick of the mind. It was used to deter us from battle.
Quite right. As I said, it just nonsense.
Yeah, I don't want to put too much stock in what we all saw.
Perhaps, in time, provided they are correctly assimilated, we might be able to ask Venus.
Yeah, that might be our best bet right now. But also, who's to say Venus even knows any of the things that the mist was showing us?
People in the stocks have always seen crazy things, have ways of making them see things that aren't really there, right?
Exactly.
Who's to say Namioto wasn't doing the same to us?
I don't mean to put your sister on the table, Kloven, but perhaps it's something she would know.
That is true.
We can always ask her, but you definitely don't need my permission to put her on the table.
It'd still be better if you were there.
You guys are gonna ask Mai about those visions we saw?
Who else is gonna have the answers?
Certainly wouldn't be harmful to ask.
Well, I mean, if she's, as we've been saying, been around for a few cycles, she would at least know if these indeed were cycles, or if just fabrications meant to cloud our judgment.
I think for the sake of my own sanity, I'm gonna keep choosing to turn a blind eye for now, and I'll leave the interrogation to all of you.
Can I insight check Tate?
Sure.
Just to get general vibes and the way he was looking at him earlier. 11.
I will say off an 11, and from that look and from what you know of Tate, there is a tinge of guilt behind how he's acting.
Gotcha. You just get those big ol' sympathetic eyes from Kloven.
That guilt gets a little harder as he, like, you can tell he doesn't feel like he deserves your care.
Oh. We've all had a long night. There's many more things we have to do before we leave. We should try to rest up, get our strength back, help new Dashik on its feet again.
Agreed. If we get that portal back up and running, first thing I'm doing is heading off to see Carol. Make sure that stocks provide as much support as they can.
It's a good idea.
Wait, out of character, did you say Kenril?
Carol, the spiritual leader of the stocks.
Yeah, and we can always ask Janine and the rest to see if they can pitch in from their end as well. I'm certain some of their discoveries should help them. Besides, I mean, forest like this, grown this long without human supervision, they're gonna need some people that can at least help them determine what's edible and what's not.
Good point. If we're all done sharing, I think rest is needed.
Indeed. King.
Yes, DM.
You hear a voice inside your head that just says, "We need to talk. Go somewhere quiet."
Kind of prickles. Doesn't say anything, but gives a mental affirmation.
All right. Kloven, are you going on your walk?
He definitely is going to, but I think right before then he's going to stop a little bit in front of Adamar as he walks by. He's gonna give him a little smile, kind of put a hand to his cheek. He'd make a good father, you know that.
Kloven, not right now.
If only that was the future I could provide for you. And he kind of smiles a little sadly and walks away.
He takes like a very deep breath and kind of shuffles around and gets back against a wall, and you can see him just close his eyes and just not trying to sleep. He's just thinking at this point. All right. Kloven goes off. Sewer King.
Yes, DM.
I assume that you just You're just kind of going to go to one of the sort of back rooms areas of Dashek where it's just like nobody else there.
Yeah, he's going as far deep into their tunnel system as he can.
Mhm.
Just so that way he's confident no one else will be around.
Okay. Sounds good. Then, as you kind of do so, you step into one of these empty rooms. There's no lights on, like no lighting in this area. It's kind of just like a dark and empty space. And as you do so, the voice will speak up. My child, I am concerned about you. Do you know why I am concerned about you?
Oh, a mother is always concerned for the well-being of her child, is she not?
I'm always watching. You know this. My concern lies in your focus. You had the eye. Even took a bite of it. Right in front of you. And you lost focus in the moment of triumph, letting it slip through your grasp.
I am aware of my particular shortcomings, but I had hoped that the fact that I did manage to ingest some of it would be somewhat pleasing. I know it's not what you asked, it's not satisfactory, but does it help?
There's a deep I do not feel its energy.
Ah. Unfortunate indeed. But there will be others.
Yes, there will be more. But your friends will be watching you, preventing you from realizing your potential. You may never get that chance again, my child. Do you understand?
I understand, but I will get it. Of that I am confident.
There is one more thing. As she says this inside of your mind, you can see there's just this black ooze that materializes in front of you, and it slowly grows until it is a full being, the same tarred and fiery presence that you saw in the cove. Unlike the softer warmth you see in your dreams. She takes her hand and runs it along your shoulder, where soft bark and flowers now grow. And as she is close to you, you look at her. Where there should be a face is just dripping tar. An opening is created as she appears to begin to speak, and you can see sharp teeth stained from this tar. And she speaks. What is this?
I had rather hoped you might know the answer to that, Mother.
I know not what it is.
It grew out of me. Out of my injuries.
She runs her fingers kind of along the bark again and says, What have you done, my child?
I have not done anything that you have not asked me to do.
I need you to get rid of it.
Is it bad?
I do not know what it is. Therefore, it does not belong. Pausing real quick, just for the audience. There's just a content warning that probably going to get into a little bit of self-harm here, so as ever, I will post timestamps for when it begins, when it ends on the screen now for in post, so thank you all. And I will put the summary as well as to what happened in broader detail. Get rid of it.
Gives a stiff nod and loops his fingers under the first shingle of bark, and just in a single motion just rips it off of his skin.
And as you do so, blood starts to kind of run down your shoulders. But in its place, green grass begins to grow, and from out of it comes flowers. Beautiful flowers.
He starts tearing at the flowers,
And in your
trying to pull them from the roots.
As you do so and kind of looking at it, you can just see through this tarry, sharp mouth. It is just continuously speaking, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it.
It won't stop.
As you kind of look up at saying that, you can see a faint orange glow where her eyes should be begin to ignite. She reaches out and grabs your hand tightly, a burning sensation from the heat of the fiery tar. Not a care for anything more, and she holds you absolutely still as the glowing red energy of her eyes begins to scan over your body. As she does so, she stops and stares for a moment, coming to the stomach. She looks up to you, eyes burning red with fire. You ate something. Something is growing inside of you. Could it have been the nut? No, It happened before you took a bite. But good. She pauses, her voice getting more and more violent in tone, and looks up indirectly into your eyes. The burning anger of her gaze shines through. At this point, can you please make me an insight check with advantage?
Oh. That's a hot 9.
Ooh.
Okay. You know your mother. Look in her eyes isn't anger anymore. There's a soft look of panic as they widen. Something you don't know if you have ever seen. And as she continues to stand there silent looking at you, do you say anything real quick? I'll let you go.
Mother, what's wrong?
Get it.
What is happening?
Get it out now. Rip it out. Get it out. Get it out. She just continues to repeat this, repeating it over and over again.
Something I ate, but and he sort of looks down at himself and sees her eyes dart to his stomach. You would ask this of me.
Rip and tear.
He gives a deep inhale and exhale, unties the cravat at his neck, unbuttons his waistcoat, and pulls the shirt over his head. And with his clawed hand, presses it against his upper abdomen, just below his rib cage on the left-hand side. Well, let's get rid of it.
She is just repeating rip and tear to you, no longer truly responding.
With a stifled, as much as he can manage, cry, just biting his own tongue to silence him, he will start to claw into his abdomen.
And as you do so, every claw, it just immediately regrows with plant life. And the sound of tearing flesh. Kloven. You're on your way back from your little escapade. You hear the sound of tearing flesh coming from inside a room.
The way it sounds makes his stomach drop, and he's going to instantly move towards the sound. And I assume when he turns the corner and sees this, his eyes are going to widen and he'll stand in the entrance at first, a little frozen. Your Majesty, what are you doing?
At this point, Mother turns around to look at Kloven before vanishing. But important to note, Kloven, you do not see her.
I don't know if SK hears you. He's a little lost in the pain sauce right now. In this futile act of trying to dig into himself, but he can't because plant life just keeps growing.
When he notices that it's not registering, he's immediately going to rush up, almost essentially drop to his knees and yank at your arm. Sewer King, stop!
Kloven. You shouldn't be here.
Apparently I should. What is going on? What are you doing? No, don't say anything. Just sit down, and he's going to grab your shoulders and push you down to the floor all the way. And with his
he doesn't
hands on
resist. He sits with your guidance.
Good, because he's already gonna start pumping in cure wounds.
I assure you that's not necessary. I'm quite certain I was getting close.
Close to what?
My stomach, of course.
Please, don't say that matter-of-factly, as I should have known that you were digging into your own stomach. This isn't something you and Thaddeus do for fun, is it?
No. Certainly not.
Do you care to explain why you're doing this?
He pauses for a moment. Does he feel Mother's presence at all?
Sorry, I was muted. Not at all.
Not at all?
No?
You see SK kind of look around the room, seemingly aimlessly. Strange.
Looking for anyone else? I'm the only one you should be looking at right now.
Yes, of course. Forgive me.
You have much more to forgive if I was not the one that walked in.
There's something in me, Kloven. I'm sure you can see very well that I am not any gestures to all of the flowers and bark and clover that's just growing out of him. Not all myself.
And you thought to physically rip it off of you. And this is strange, because Kloven's never looked angry or panicked like this. And this is a completely different face that you've probably ever seen of him. His face is red with fury.
Yes, I thought it best to be well rid of it. A foreign entity has no place in the perfection of my being.
Your Majesty, you are one of a kind. You yourself are a perfect being. I've told you before, didn't I? How beautiful you were. These flowers are only a testament to that. And that's not something you should rip apart.
Oh, Kloven. You are a flatterer through and through. What use can grass and flowers do for me? This is not a part of my design.
And what if it is? You're always evolving. Grass and flowers are the beginning of creation. You're
He
starting
blinks
at the
at
very
that. Beginning of creation, you say?
Yes. Isn't that how the circle of life works? Eating the grass. Animals growing stronger because of it. Creating life from it. You started a little backwards, but I think you're exactly where you need to be right now. You don't need to change that.
Even if that is true, she doesn't want it.
Gee.
You see him kind of look around the room again, like he's looking for something.
He's gonna kind of follow SK's eyes a little bit.
Neither of you see anything.
If there's someone or something that's telling you that you're not perfect the way you are, I would have a hard time believing them. And at this point, Kloven is basically like straddling him, like knees on either side, still gripping on to his shoulders.
Odd request, DM.
Yeah?
What does Kloven smell like right now?
Why are you asking Willie that? You have the player right there.
Hey, ask Julia.
But I am asking for a very specific reason.
Considering where he came from. Make me a survival check.
Or is real.
With yeah, with advantage. You know how to track sense.
19.
Okay.
Play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. No, there's.
Do I smell Lark on Kloven?
Yeah.
He's
Fucking
so
my sister.
close.
Yeah, you do. Or I suppose I should say, Yulia, does he?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I think in classic SK fashion, it's time to deflect and take the situation away from myself. So he's just gonna look up to Kloven and kind of give this tired but cheeky smile and just... Now, Kloven, why were you down here?
I was receiving a message from the gods, to put it lightly.
Oh, you commune with the moon goddess now.
Good thing I did. Had I not, wouldn't have seen you in all this spectacle.
She is a rather fascinating creature, isn't she?
He kind of leans down, puts his forehead to SK's forehead. Yes, there's many interesting folk that I seem to be interacting with recently.
You are a... Loath as I am to admit it, you are a good man, Kloven. It's hardly any wonder why others gravitate towards you.
Well, hopefully it'll work on you, and you'll think twice about doing something like that to yourself again. Do I need to charm you too, Your Majesty?
Hardly. I can assure you this is not something I wish to endure a second time.
Then we both agree that this is not to be repeated or said. Can you imagine what Thaddeus would think?
SK's stomach just plummets as you say that. And you can see his face is already pale naturally, even more so with recent blood loss, but he is just ghostly white. Every ounce of color that's left in his face just drains. You won't tell him?
You want me to keep this a secret?
Are you good at keeping secrets?
More than you'll ever know, Your Majesty.
Then one more should hardly be a bother.
If only so you don't feel the wrath of Tate and his wordly rants. He is far better at confrontation than I am. Are you truly all right?
I think so. Thanks to you. I would rather if I'd go back to normal as I usually am.
Well, at least let me check over you a bit more. Let's see if any of this subsides.
Very well. if you must.
We do have much more to talk about, especially this woman that seems to be clouding your mind.
I was about to make a joke about how we both seem to have women on the mind, but that hardly seemed appropriate.
He kind of lowers his shirt a little bit. That's already disheveled with, like, lines of claw marks.
Hey, yo!
They do be hopping, huh?
SK just kind of raises his brows a little bit, just... As I said, a fascinating woman.
Well, let's make the women in our lives cause us harm for good. Yes, next time.
With any luck.
He'll kind of pull himself off of him and reach a hand to help him up.
He'll take your hand and pick up his discarded clothes and kind of hastily redress himself.
I know
Thank
I've
you.
mentioned it before. Yes. You can hardly thank me, but don't consider this my only scolding. I plan to do it much more in the future.
Next time I'll try not to be caught. Gives you a toothy smile.
Oh, I don't plan to take my eyes off of you ever again.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, or are we good to wrap that scene there?
I think we're good.
Cool, cool. Thank you both for that. Oh my god, I was dying. Then we'll go ahead and say that you both return back to the common room that you've been sharing. And sorry, I need to not look at Discord. And are able to just rest for the evening. And SK, I'll just add one final note as you're sort of winding down. Normally, you would hear your mother's humming. It's just silent.
Ugh. SK does not sleep well that night, no matter how comfy the ranket is.
The ranket. It can only do so much.
It can only do so much.
All right. Then, as you all wake up in the morning, I imagine, as usual, Tate is the first to stir. But
Wakey, wakey.
wakey, eggs and bakey. As you're just sort of like getting up, everyone else will also kind of be woken up by just this very, very loud, like, sound. As you can see, like, everybody kind of hops to it at attention. You can see the lights in their eyes proceed to come back on, and they proceed to start to, like, put themselves back together. And they take a moment, blink their eyes a few times, and just look around at the rest of you. And just say, confirmation. Absorption complete.
You're not in trouble or anything? Everything in order?
We still require time to process memories. However, we are stable enough to operate.
That's about the most human response I could have expected. I'm glad nothing unexpected happened.
Much unexpected happened.
Ah.
How long, for inquiry, how long have I been gone?
Night.
Observation. That is less time than we had anticipated.
Hold on. How long were you thinking that we'd wait? You know what? I'm not going to ponder that thought.
Clarification. It was as we had feared. We did see certain memories. They look over towards Venus's body. The child did come to them and offer them the power to protect everyone from the mist as well as each other. Venus accepted, but immediately lost control of themselves. From there, Venus did his best to fight back against the influence and make sure that people were captured, not killed.
So you were able to hold back that whole time after all.
Venus is not currently present. We must assimilate the rest of their being. However, we believe, thinking back on previous experiences, that this is true. Please request. Please give space to complete assimilation.
Everything you need.
And they will kind of move themselves, and you can see the maw that they have just proceeds to open wide, just as it did before, as the roots of their being wrap Venus up. And they go ahead, as the mouth stretches to being over 2 foot wide, take the whole of Venus, press it into their mouths, and as such, a loud machine noise can be heard as engines drive and rotors whir. Antai's eyes proceed to shift around as the rest of the entirety of the body is put in. As they do so, the shifting returns to red, and a small set of spiked thorns rise up around Antai's upper half, mimicking the patterns that Venus had. Confirmation. Assimilation complete. We should return to the tree and complete the restoration. Is this agreeable?
I mean, it helps the network. We should get the tree up and running as soon as possible, right? I don't see a reason we should stop.
affirmation. Please. Whenever you all are ready. And they'll just kind of give you the space to, get properly dressed and everything. Let you move on around and get everything together. And as you're sort of getting finished up, Quinn will actually come out of their bedroom and just be like, "Everything all right in here?"
Yes, sir. Yes, boss. We're all good. Just getting ready for the day. I think, in a bit, we'll be heading out to that, tree. Namiyota's nest, I guess.
The tree is just topside. Namio's nest was elsewhere.
Oh, okay, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad. But we still need to go to the tree, right?
Right. That's where you put the eye in.
Yeah.
And
But-
Quinn will kind of light up and just be like, "I suppose I should let the town know that it's time to go up topside then. Let me see if Ideen is willing and able to come. I think she should be a part of this. We have to tell everyone that their family may yet be able to be found."
Is she in a stable condition?
She's quite weak, but some support. She's starting to be able to walk again.
That is excellent news.
Lark's
So glad to hear it.
been working long hours to make sure of it. Right. Shall we?
Yes.
Alright. Then you all will go ahead and head up topside, and as you're doing so, Anti, without any sort of ceremony, will just proceed to go directly into the general central chamber of the tree and begin to work their magic on adapting the eye to the tree system and everything. But slowly, everyone starts to come up from the tunnels to kind of gather around the tree itself. And Quinn will kind of speak up and just say, I thank y'all for being here. In just a few moments, I'm sure, all the mist will be dissipating, but as you can see, no vines are left, so we're safe. And as he says that, you can see some of the people just kind of looking around, just like murmuring to themselves, but there's smiles on their faces as they continue and speak up to say, there's more good news yet. Those of us that have lost family to the Nomiyoda, we have found that they may yet be still alive and have been delicately preserved by it. You all remember my sister Ideen? And when will kind of beckon back to her. She's there, dressed in some very loose-fitting clothing, and just kind of, you can still see that she's very still in the malnourished state of where she was before, but is like, eyes open, kind of looking there. Quinn will go back and kind of wrap his arm around her and bring her forward. And as he does so, she looks up to the rest of the town and just sees the murmuring and just speaks up herself, just saying, it's good to see you all again. She coughs very, very, to clear her throat a bit. I'm very happy to be back. I hope that all your family can be brought back safe too. I still feel very weak, but thanks to the kind folks that have come into our town, as well as Lark, I'm feeling okay. And Quinn kind of just gives her like a soft nudge of just like a look of pride as the crowd kind of begins to walk up to her. It's at this point an intense rumbling can be heard as a large beam of light shoots out from top of the tree, and as the light emanates, the mist around you begins to recede further and further. You all look around to see the large rainforest you've been standing in its full glory. The ruins of the town expands beyond as far as the eye can see. Faint murmuring and whispering can be heard as the crowd begins to walk around and begin to explore the area where the mist was once more, smiles on their faces. Anti will go ahead and come out of the tree itself and look to you all and just say, "Confirmation. The eye has been successfully restored. It was missing a part of itself due to having partially been eaten. But using Venus's memory, I was able to reconstruct it and fill in the gaps to be as functional as it needs to be." The eyes shift to orange as they look towards Sewer King. "Please do be careful in the future, Your Majesty. There's a very limited number of these, and we need all of them. Your prowess in combat and skill at destroying monsters is very appreciated, however."
My sincerest apologies. I will endeavor to be more careful.
Are you all prepared to return home?
Out of character, is Quinn coming back with us to see the stocks and report back? Or
Sure. We'll get to that too. At this point, yeah, Lark and Quinn are both still kind of remaining with you. Quinn holding Ideen pretty closely, making sure that she's okay, getting her sat down. And Lark will kind of speak up and just say, "I will be staying here for at least now. Now that the Moonwell is more readily available, I believe there's plenty of work to do. So, please do come back. We would appreciate your help."
we will. Just because we're never really done helping. We'll come back. Promise.
It's a promise.
She'll nod and smile and look to all of you. "Besides, we had so much fun, didn't we?" Giving a glance to Kloven.
Insight! I gotta channel my inner Nafisa. That's a 15. Did they fuck?
There's something. What were you gonna say, Yulia?
No, just, I mean, Kloven's reaction and his smile, and I certainly had a wonderful time getting to know you better.
That is gonna look over for a second, like, huh?
Adamar is just going to take a deep sigh and just roll his eyes at Kloven. Sif, with a 15, you can tell that there's been some sort of rendezvous that you didn't know about. What that rendezvous was, you can only guess.
Or you can imagine. That's
Or you
fine.
can imagine. Yeah, that's also an option.
We're gonna start making bunny incident jokes now.
Table, now the bunny, what the fuck?
But yes, so she'll kind of giggle, wink at you both, and walk towards the Moonwell. Quinn himself will kind of just say, I'll be staying here for at least a little bit longer. Need to make sure that Nadine's doing all right and we're all set and ready to go for reconstruction. Adamar, you said you'd be bringing some folks by? Yes, of course. We'll be coming by hopefully later this afternoon. I suppose that timing actually means something now that you are out in the world and not underground. And Quinn just kind of chuckles and says, I'm glad that at least our clocks seem to be mostly in tune with what's actually the case. And just kind of chuckles before saying, if you folks need anything, you know where to find us. Yeah?
We will. Yes.
With that, as you go to walk into the tree itself, the inside of this tree, as with the one in Kenrill and the one in the Stocks, they all look basically identical on the inside. Anti will kind of speak up to the rest of you. Statement. We will be remaining in Dashek temporarily to confirm that all is well with the tree. Please do not wait. We shall regroup with you imminently. Yeah? Do you all want to head back to the Stocks at this point?
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
guys, every time we go through this thing, it gets a little messy, so make sure to... And like he's like saying this while walking backwards, and he just walks backwards into it, so he definitely fell on his ass on the other side.
You know, you'd think the guy who got hit by this the hardest would be a bit more careful around it.
I'm not looking forward to this again.
Hey, you're the one who stayed upright last time.
I hope with your help you can support me this time.
That's a big if. Let's see if my knees hold out. Thaddeus is gonna go through.
Alright. Everyone goes through. And I would say on the other side, yeah, Tate, you're just on your ass as you come through. Just tripping into it will do that. Thaddeus, your knees are just like very weak and wobbly for a bit. Kloven,
DM, can I con save to get out of this?
you want a con save? If you can roll me a con save.
It's a 15, DM.
That's not bad. So it's just like a quick like, whoa, before you kind of get yourself back together.
Oh, I made it this time. Oh. Hey, Tate.
He's just on his ass, like flat, legs out. It's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit until everyone gets through.
Yep, I get you. Thaddeus is gonna lean against the railing. I am never going to get used to that.
It's not the most pleasant experience.
Ugh.
No. And as you kind of go down the elevator, leaving the teleporter room, you find yourself greeted with the warm light and familiar atmosphere of the Stocks before you. Back home after... I didn't count the days, but it's been at least a week, I would say. I think it's probably like 9 or 10 days, if I had to guess.
They're like guards stationed by like the tree nowadays to like be like, oh, okay, they're back. All right, this is normal.
Yeah, I would say so. Guards watching over who comes and goes through the trees from Kenril or what have you as well. And Adamar will kind of speak up and just say, well, I believe this is where we'll part ways for now. You folks have... Well, are you planning to go talk to Mai?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I hope she gives you more answers.
We might have to force it out of her this time. Not with force, though.
Would we rather not have a more welcoming return home rather than bombard her with questions upon our arrival?
Yeah, we should take it slowly. At least say hello and that we're back.
Yeah. And Adamar, you'll handle the logistics and everything again, right?
Of course. It's something I'm very comfortable with. With this timeline... scientific bullshit.
Are you guys gonna talk to Mai about what we saw? Confirm and everything?
I'm gonna do my best.
Then I think I'll just I'll hold off for a bit. I still need to figure some things out. You guys go on ahead though.
Would you like some company while you figure things out?
No, I shouldn't keep you. Especially you, SK. If Maya can offer any insight into what you saw specifically, I wouldn't want to keep you from it.
Well, I mean, I know mine was a load of nonsense. I don't know what she can say to change that.
I think...
No, my questions are more for Venus.
Just keep an open mind, alright? And don't forget, you've got us here with you too, alright?
Wait, so... is it just going to be me and Mai?
I mean, I'm happy to go with you, but I don't know what any line of questions from me would...
You know what? No. I think this is something I've got to do. Take it easy. I'll be back when I've got our answers.
If you're certain.
That leaves me out of my house then. I'll find something to do in the meantime.
Alright. Then if it's just going to be Thaddeus going, I will move some things around a little bit to make that happen. But you are more than able to go to Mai and Kloven's house to say hello.
He's going to knock on the door like he would when he would visit normally.
You hear her voice from inside just pipe up rather quickly and just say, "Come in."
He'll open the door and walk in, hands in the pockets of his coat, and just... We're back.
Oh, Thaddeus, it's so good to see you. She'll look around and not see any other members of the party.
It's good to
Immediately
see you too, Mai.
looks a little concerned and just says, Everyone's safe,
Everyone's
right?
recovering. Yeah, they're okay. Kloven's
Oh.
barely got a scratch on his head. SK is SK. Tate got knocked on his ass from the teleporter again.
I'm glad to hear that. Do you do you want to tell me about it? Is there anything anything you need? Be happy
Yeah.
to fix some dinner for the rest of you, whenever they're available.
Save your energy on that front. I'll cook tonight. How about that?
Fair enough. It is only 11 a.m., so...
It's been a while since I've cooked dinner for everybody anyway, but before we get there, there are a few things you can help me with. He's going to put a bottle of wine, like a small one, on the center of the table, and take a seat. You might as well pull out a glass. We're probably going to be here for a while.
Okay. She looks at you very closely and goes to sit down. Goodness, it feels like I'm about to be interrogated.
What? The one of Thaddeus's hands that she can see is going to close when she says that. And he's going to look at her sharper than he has in a long time. That's because you are.
Oh. I suppose
Fortunately,
that's
I'm not
fair.
like Adamar. I'm not like Adamar, and I'm not like Kloven. I'm not law enforcement, and I'm not a guard. I'm your friend. And I'm also someone who needs to find a way to fix this.
What happened? She looks at you very closely. You see her eyes widen a little bit.
We talked about the void before, didn't we?
You've been jumping,
Twice.
haven't you?
Twice. I've seen the void 2 more times, and both times No. The second time, it wasn't me. The first time, I saw Adamar. Or more accurately, Adamars. Hundreds of them, Mai.
Thaddeus, that is immensely dangerous. You cannot be doing that in your current state.
I didn't have a choice. I went to bed that night, thinking I'd have some regular dream, or better yet, none at all, and that's what I saw. That's what I lived through. And that's not even the worst of it, if you can believe it.
Please. Say what you want to say.
Have you heard of the Namiota before? Maybe not in this cycle, but in any of the previous ones you've seen.
I've never heard that name.
Cool. Well, you might have seen something similar. Big, scary plant monster type thing. SK scared me half to death by going inside it to try and rip out the eye. But that's not what I'm talking to you about here. All of us saw something when we fought it for real. All of us saw different timelines. Adamar with 2 kids and a happy, quieter life. Kloven saw you. SK said he saw an arena fight and was hanging out with another kid. Said it didn't have anything to do with him, but I think we both have an idea of the fact that that's probably wrong. I didn't
Thaddeus,
ask Tate. He kept to himself.
Thaddeus, calm down. You're letting your anger get the best of you here.
Maybe I am, but I've been keeping this cooped up for days. You said I'm not ready to do this in my current state. Or it's dangerous. I don't think anything we're doing right now isn't dangerous, Mai. You can try and talk me down. You can try and calm us down and put us on what you might think is the right path. But right here, right now, I need to know what's going on. I need to know the full extent. I need to know what I can do to get this under control, and I need to know what I can do to make sure that what I saw in the void doesn't ever happen again.
She's going to slap you directly in the face. Stop. You don't think I've heard this speech before? I can see you've been jumping and not entirely unwilling. Thaddeus, that is immensely dangerous. You are destabilizing yourself from the timeline. Don't be a hero. I told you what happened if you try and be a hero. I told you.
Mai. He's going to stop for a moment before he reaches out and grabs her wrist.
You can see her left eye lights up a little bit.
You're right. It hasn't been entirely unwilling. When the Namioto is showing us other timelines, I saw things that I didn't want to look away from, and I got dragged further and further back. I saw SK, Adamar, Kloven. Timelines where we were all happy together. I bet you remember some of those too, don't you?
I do.
And let me tell you, I don't want to be a hero. I know what I'm here to do now.
And what is that?
Being a hero gets us killed. Being a hero gets me killed. You've told me that before, right?
I have.
I don't want to be a hero, Mai. I want to stop being a piece on the board. I think it's time I be a player instead.
She looks at you, the fire fading a little bit from her left eye. And next you're going to tell me that you want to learn how to go through timelines and find the right ones, jump through them, and be able to find the solution to every problem. And then you'll go off and do it, and you'll get lost along the way, only to find yourself meandering through worlds like a virus. Is that correct?
I wouldn't call myself a virus, but given how specific you were, tell me what happened the last time you tried this.
Exactly that. There's a version of you that I believe still yet exists. One that pushed too far. One that wanted to save everyone. All timelines.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up. 'Cause if you'd asked me what I thought before this, before New Dashek, before I saw what the Namioto showed us, before what happened with Adamar, I probably would have agreed with you. I probably would have said that I want this key that I want to be able to jump so I can do things to save everyone. But do you want to know what I saw, Mai? I saw an Adamar that we couldn't save. I saw a world we couldn't save. I'm not going to be so presumptuous to think that I can save every timeline. That's more than any person, no matter how tight their grip is, can do. I'm going to make sure this one wins. And I'm going to use the lessons that I can gather from every other one to make sure that happens. And if I run into that other me, who's got delusions of grandeur and is trying to fix everything, I'll put him out of his misery for you. Like I said, I'm not a hero, Mai. Someone like me, I tinker, I shoot, I plan, I scheme. I'm not a hero.
She'll look you
But I
in the
am
eye.
someone who can fix things.
She'll look you in the eye very deeply and just concentrate on you. I'm still unsure if this is the best course forward. However, at least for now, I can teach you how to root yourself, so that way you can return home to this timeline if you were to go too far.
It's a start. And, Mai, you and I have only seen the past. How can either of us be sure what the correct course forward is unless we take that step and take a risk? We can't keep this going forever. How many more happy endings are you willing to throw away for a false cycle?
I'm not. Thaddeus, my first life here, when I was, well, back before I was this, it was just a, well, actually, let me show you.
Take it away.
She's going to walk back to the back of the kitchen area, to a little cupboard, and she's going to clear her throat a little bit and just sing a few notes. Just climb, find your way. And as she sings that, the cabinet moves and the ground floor will slide aside, revealing a staircase. And she'll gesture for you to follow along.
He's going to follow Hence, but he's happy she's opening up. He'll tail behind.
As you kind of walk in, the stairs go downwards into a basement area. And as you go into here, you can see around there, there's lots of sketches on the ground, or on tables, on the walls, etc. Different musical instruments that seem to be in the process of being built. A small journal on a table next to a very advanced schematic of machinery of a porcelain humanoid figure. And she just points to that and says, "This is what I was when I first came here. I was a robot.
doll?
A doll. But I met you all. And you all gave me confidence, hope, and a reason. And then I lost you. So I laid there, drifting in and out of the void. I couldn't tell you for how long. I would wager many years. Unable to die. Just exist. Eventually, I found a way out. Through luck. Would be the best way to describe it. And I found my way back into a world. There you are again. And I had to watch you die. Again. Then another few years in the void. And I returned and watched you die again. Over and over again. I do not doubt how much I want out of this hellish situation. But do not blame me for wanting to seek happiness inside of them.
Thaddeus is gonna hold out one hand to her. You can't get out of this alone. You and I both know that.
She'll take it. Just not make eye contact. She's looking at another piece of schematics. Just say, I've been meaning to talk to Beth to show her this. I've always meant to. Oh. I suppose there's a lot of things I've always meant to. Maybe a part of me gave up.
You know, when it comes to giving up, a pretty great woman once told me one thing. You only ever really give up if you never try again. And I don't think I've seen anyone, here or in any cycle, who's tried more times than you, Mai. Maybe it's about damn time you succeed.
I want out so bad.
And teach me how to fight it. For real this time. Don't just give me the keys and send me on my way. You clearly saw something bad happen the last time you tried. You taught me magic. You could teach me this.
Okay. Let me get some things ready. And I'll be in touch.
All right.
But you need to make sure that you're fixed here. It's a baseline.
Trust me. No matter what I see out there, no matter how nice the thought may be, those aren't my worlds. Those aren't my home.
All of them are dead.
I had a feeling that was the case. That's why, when I saw Kloven at first, I didn't keep diving because I wanted to see where it went. I didn't want the sweet dream. I wanted to know how I could stop that from happening to him again. Because after I saw what happened to Adamar, when I saw Kloven, when I saw Sewer King, when I saw Adamar himself looking at me like that with every bit of their heart on their sleeves, and I'd seen what happened to every cycle before, I knew that couldn't have ended well. My love can wait. Fixing whatever's wrong with this place has to come first. Selfishness is only going to get in the way here. I know that now.
And see, she starts. There's tears coming out of her eyes as well. And she looks to you and just says, I've made so many mistakes. I sometimes wonder if I'm not supposed to be here at all. And then maybe I'm the reason things fail. And if I just stand back and watch, then maybe things will go better.
You are the reason we're still here.
You don't know that.
I've got a reasonable suspicion. You keep coming back, you keep trying, you keep singing your songs, and you keep encouraging us. And who gives a damn if we're supposed to be here or not? We are, and that's what matters. And damn it, we aren't toys. We aren't pieces on a board. We aren't playthings. We're people. And if I know anything, people can fight.
And she'll just walk over to a drawing on the wall. You can see it's that of a man, a bit of a stubbly chin, holding a cup of coffee and a white lab coat. And she just says, someone gave me something very special once. And sometimes I loathe it. But if we can make it, I know it'll be a blessing and not a curse.
Sometimes it just takes the right amount of heat, the right amount of pressure, and the right person behind the hammer.
The right amount of elbow grease, blood, sweat, and tears.
To turn the worst chunk of metal you've ever seen into a miracle. Stop hiding, Mai. Let's start facing what we can do. So, how about that glass of wine?
Sounds lovely.
You know, I might have swiped it from the planter basement, like I used to, in one of those old cycles.
I could tell.
Let's just hope Pumpkin doesn't catch me on it.
She knows.
Shit.
All right. Anything else before we wrap that scene up?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. I'm gonna just hit us with the good old mind double feature then, since we sort of pivoted with how that went. So, are you ready, Sif?
Oh God! I was like, all right, session's ending. Cool. I get to.
No
She's
escape.
She's got me in this steel cage for 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, a few hours pass. Thaddeus leaves eventually, and Maya's just probably just staying at home. So, I'll let you take it from the start. You can just find her whenever you're ready.
Sorry. So Tate would have gone home to grab one of the record players that they haven't gotten around to fixing yet for the town to bring over to Mai, and that would occur to him to, she really doesn't get as much time to spend in human form, and we miss so much of it. He'll pack a picnic for some normalcy, and he'll make his way to Mai and Kloven's home and knock on the door to see who's there.
She'll just, rather than beckoning someone to come in, she's just gonna come to the door and just open it and see you there and just say, "Oh, Kate. I guess I didn't expect to see the others after Thaddeus came alone."
Yeah. I don't know if he went over it, but we each had our own reasons not to be quite so confrontational with you today. And I was just wondering, I know we talked about it before, but I brought some broken parts that we still haven't repaired from Dintown for another record player for the town. And I realized you probably don't spend enough time, or haven't gotten to spend enough time just being in this form, so I also packed maybe a little picnic, if you'd be interested.
Sounds lovely, Tate. And regarding my form, I suppose as a minor update for that, I've found a way to stabilize the draconic essence in a way that's not quite as cumbersome. I can show you if you would like.
Yeah, I wouldn't love to. Yeah, you can show me.
And she'll just kind of take a deep breath, and you see her form just start to shift and move as it changes into a smaller, roughly 3 foot tall, 5 foot long form of what you had previously seen. And she looks up at you with a little soft smile through the draconic gaze and just speak, "As long as I do this for at least an hour a day, I can maintain whatever form I need. This one is kind of nice, though. It's a bit cuter and doesn't cause people to run away."
Yeah, you look fantastic, even. I don't think anyone would run away from you like this. Not saying there was nothing wrong with you as a dragon, either.
And she'll actually just like flap her wings a little bit and just kind of like take to the air a little bit and just say, "Can fly too." So
his mouth is kind of like agape in that like recognition of wonder. Kloven's gonna be mighty jealous.
But yes, well, I'll shift back. I assume. I need my hands to do what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And she'll
I was thinking we could
quickly shift
find
back.
I was thinking we could find a nice spot where we usually walk by.
Right.
Yeah.
I know there's a nice hill over by the flower garden and in the planter's estate.
Alright. Then we'll head there.
Perfect.
And it can just be a nice, quiet, totally well-processing walk over to the flower garden.
She'll probably speak up along the way and just say, Thaddeus seemed quite bothered.
Yeah, we saw things that did he give you every detail?
No. He told me basics.
I think I want to hold off on talking about that, to be
Please.
honest, but
No pressure.
we all saw things.
Are you alright?
I think I'm starting to feel a little better, but I'm just trying not to think about it right now. All I want to focus on is each of the little moving parts in this here kit, and these nice sandwiches I made.
Right. I won't bring it up again, I promise.
Yeah. Alright. So, I've got just the similar makings of one back home. It's a different model. Pa never really wanted to take the time to put it together. It was a little different from the first one, so pain in the ass, he called it.
Well, I can see the basics of how it should be working. So we can work together to make it so.
Alright. Show me.
Of course. She'll just quickly, very... This is kind of soft reveal from this session. Kind of robotically, we'll just quickly take the parts, place them where they should be, whips out like the screwdriver, screws them into place, and just kind of does the basics and just says, "You following so far?"
I think, wow, I knew Pa, Ashley, and Beth recognized you, but this is insane. I'm kind of surprised you never went at their line of work.
Well, when you have so much time on your hands, you tend to pick up a lot.
Yeah. Time, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think we could take a moment to eat. I know you're working... I know you're working real fast, but maybe we can take a second to, just take things slow for a little bit.
Right, sorry. I kind of did that, at least a lot of that just by myself without talking.
No, I've always really enjoyed watching you do your work. I mean, not just this, the teaching, when you're grading, you sort of just hone in. I like what I see in your eyes. It's like in some way you're at peace.
Thank you. It's calming. Well, to serve and help. This feels natural.
Speaking of things that feel natural, you You want to do a quick dance? You don't get to stay in this form for long, so... You only get so many walks, right?
Yeah, I'd be happy to dance.
And Tate will take their hand and just do a very basic, like, I don't know what the term would be, this would be a waltz, something that like Mai has probably shown like the students and other people in town before, nothing crazy.
Slow waltz and a box step.
He doesn't have like two left. He's not like bad at dancing, but he's not like insane at it either. Very, very much I am doing what I was taught. And as he gets more and more comfortable in it, he'll start trying to lead more rather than just letting Mai lead the motions. And it's not out of eagerness or excitement, but there's this sickening curiosity. A seed that was planted by what everyone was saying earlier about the visions they saw, how there was more to them than just a hallucination, and he will start humming the tune of the song that Mai wrote for their wedding.
And she had kind of had her eyes closed. Just kind of enjoying the moment, letting herself feel the rhythm of the music. She hears that tune. Her eyes just open wide immediately.
I
don't normally sing.
are like Mai's hands like trembling in his hands at the moment?
The grip has definitely loosened a little bit.
He is going to immediately let go and step back. I heard it. Saw it.
What?
In a hallucination, and that I didn't want to recreate the moment or nothing, but I thought, what would happen if I had hummed it? Back where we were, we fought a corrupted version of one of Anta's siblings. Sibling named Venus, corrupted to be something named Namiota by the child. It gave off these fumes, this haze in our minds that caused us to see things. Kloven said he saw you. Adamar said he had children. Thaddeus. I think Thaddeus made it clear what he saw, and Sewer King said he saw something that made no sense to him. Him being with another child and a older figure going to an arena showing. And I thought those were just things to pacify us.
She's like breathing heavily at this, listening to you talk. Hey. I'm so sorry.
I need more than that. If you know something about what I saw, about what I just hummed, if there's something more, because I hope to God there's something more than just...
There is. It was a good few cycles ago. But I was in a darker place. And I thought about how much joy love has always brought all of you. And part of me just felt so wrong that I never felt anything like that. And you always treated me with such kindness and looked at me with such happiness and everything. And I thought that maybe if I tried, that I would feel it. And I tried so hard to feel something. And I never felt anything. But I saw how happy it made you. And I couldn't. How could I ruin that? How could I possibly ruin that? So I tried. I kept going. I kept trying, hoping that maybe this next step would be the one where I finally felt something, and I never did. But I felt it was. It didn't last. It didn't last. But for a time there, maybe it was just my deception. You looked like you were so happy. And how could I break your heart?
So, does that mean in this loop, as you call it, in other loops, you've known? Were you always the person to motivate me? To get me to start socializing, to stop being a shutaway?
No. When I've met you for the first time, you all have been on many adventures before. And you seemed more scared, I suppose. Lost your family very early. You were always the leader.
That was the first time, but every time after, And he's gonna turn away from her, but continue talking as, like, the winds in the area just start getting stronger and stronger, coming in from the ocean. I don't know what to say. Where to start, where to finish, where to...
Tate, I've made so many mistakes. But
My. He's still not looking at her. I'm not. He's like clenching his fists, digging his nails deep into his skin. I'm not mad at you. I do not hate you. And I don't want you thinking that this burden you carry makes you any less deserving to be in our lives. All this time, I'd been trying to convince you that we aren't the same. That each and every one of us you meet aren't the same. But this whole time, this whole loop, I've loved you. And for every step I've taken in it, I've always somehow known that that love can't be returned. It's not something I should force. That it's not something I should expect. And if I'm truly a different man from all the other failure, then how would I know that? How would I so deeply feel that scar across me without even trying? Without even telling you? And so I do not hold you in any way, Mai. I don't want you blaming yourself or feeling like you're any less than the amazing person that you are because of this curse that you carry. Because of the acts that you are forced to repeat and live through over and over again. But I fear as though that I am not enough in this moment. That I cannot even bring the strength to simply turn and look at you.
Just gonna place a hand on your shoulder.
He jolts a step forward from that.
Sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for. This gift you've awoken in me, this strength, I am not deserving of it. I am not enough. And unless there's like something you really need to get out, Lily, Tate is going to surge with the wind aura and dash the 120 feet a turn movement to just go home.
She would not know what to say in that moment. And probably just sits down on the bench and just looks over at the sandwiches and the half-finished record player. And just starts to sob herself. All good?
Yeah. Thank you for keeping me in the steel cage match.
I believe I received a request from Master to finish the session with one final little bit, so please.
Thaddeus is going to walk through the tavern door with a bit of haste that hasn't been seen in a long time. The door clatters behind him as he crosses the tavern in a few steps just to get to the counter and catch up with Hunter for a moment. And he puts the rifle down right between them.
Oh, not even a welcome back there.
He's got a bit of a manic smile on his face as he adjusts the monocle back up onto his eye. Hunter, I've got some good news for you.
What might that be?
Well, apart from the fact that we're all alive, I'm over my creative block. Why don't we fire up the old forge and start improving on perfection?
By all means, I would be happy to help.
Jillian started this gun, and I'm gonna finish it.
And let's keep on moving forward, then. It's what she would want.
You're right. Path isn't gonna wait for us, is it?
Absolutely not. You've got this, kiddo.
No one gets there on their own.
You'll tousle your hair. And is that what you wanted to do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He'll tousle your hair, give you a big smile, and then just reach across from the bar and actually just reach around and bear hug you over the bar side and just say, "That's my boy."
Always have been, always will be.
And that's where we'll end session.
Oh,
God!
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ!
I just want everyone to know. Remember, just don't forget the fact that after having the first canonical fade to black in the campaign, Yulia then proceeded to have Kloven straddle SK. I'm just saying.
What the fuck, Kloven? What the fuck, man?
That's my manhole right there.
That is not what we should take away from this episode.
That is absolutely what we should take away from that.
That's what we are taking away. I mean,
I don't know what the problem was.
Oh my
SK
God.
just had a little fiber in his diet, and then you straddled him, you fucking freak.
A little iron deficient, maybe, but.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyways, thank you all so much for playing. Thank you to everyone for watching, and we will be back in a few weeks for the next session, so I hope you all look forward to it very much. Thank you once more, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye!
Bye.